And as is so often the case this time of year, trying to get a little Memorial Day weekend gold panning going here, and the rain. Hopefully we're going to get through this. I can still get out here. Greetings to you, my friends, one and all, and a very happy Memorial Day weekend to you all. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Bayou Gold Guy. I am Bayou Gold Guy, and yes, we are celebrating and honoring our fallen veterans on this Memorial Day weekend, but we also celebrate them by participating in the events and the activities that they sacrificed and made the ultimate sacrifice so that we could enjoy. So when you have your barbecues and your parades and your family gatherings, just remember that that who made it possible and the ultimate price they paid for it. We are grateful and can't thank them enough every day. So, but on this day and this weekend, we take out time to specifically remember it. And yes, we've unfortunately had more fallen veterans that are added to that list just this year and the last few that hopefully we'll be seeing a great decline of in the future and around the world from any soldiers. So that being said, we are celebrating with we're sticking with the good guys. We've got another bag of the 3-pack for the gold nugget sales I picked up, and what we're gonna do is when I get done doing all 3 bags, we're gonna do a overall ROI on what the order was, because I got 3 of them with all on the same postage. So if you count postage on your stuff, then that's a better deal because you're paying less for each bag you get. As you can see, we are celebrated, decked out for our Memorial Day on the old gold station here. We even got I thought it was appropriate to add a gold star this year on it, so that's what that is. But yes, we will turn to the new gold epicenter of South Louisiana once more as we celebrate season 5. I can't believe that we're into it now. The episode, what is this, 194? It's but our second episode into season 5. So some of my favorite stuff here, the Leaf Gold. I really like the 3-gram bag. You're guaranteed a minimum 1-gram nugget, and it's always bigger than that. I've got that giant flat one y'all have seen. Some beautiful gold in this, so I thought this would be a good shiny bag to do. The storms have passed us by for the time being. It was some pretty strong spring storms. We had an unusual. Man, I can't get this open. I'm losing my grip. I was doing a job and I got stung by a wasp right here in the palm of my hand when I had the. Y'all have heard me mention my brain therapy injury before, but yeah, they did a neural test and they stick hair size needles into your muscles and then run electrodes through them to see if you've got nerve damage. And when the doctor told me, when he put it in there, he said, this is the largest cluster of nerves in your body is in this part of your palm. It's the most sensitive to pain. I found that hard to believe, but I felt it when he stuck it in there. But when I've never been stung by a wasp there. I was reaching up. I thought I'd cleared everything out with my pressure washer. They'd already built a new nest up, and the one there got me. And man, for half the day, I could hardly. And here it is 2 days later, and it's still bothering me. It's pretty crazy. But at any rate, we got the bag open, and it's some dusty dirt. So let's what do we want to do with this? Everything's still wet from the rain. Yeah, I needed to be over finishing that job in the next town over I've been doing. My Cajun Jimmy. Need to meet up with him again before. I just saw a nice flake of gold fall out as we were dumping that out. But yeah, with these bigger rocks, we might have some finer gold in this, so we want to. Yeah, but yeah, I've been doing a job over in Thibodaux, far side of Thibodaux. Look at that. Look at those flakes of gold appearing in the pan. Very cool. And yeah, all I've got's the trim left to do, and it was just going to be downpouring today. It's just not worth ruining my job. There's some nice some nice flakes showing up there already. Look at that little guy. Oh. And that's the thing about this gold. It's very thin and flat. So what looks like would normally be a piece that would weigh 1/10 of a gram, or, you know, 2/10 of a gram will weigh 0.005 or something. But you can see that shine, and it is like wafer thin, razor thin. But you hear it still makes a nice little tick there in the pan. Oh, I can pick it up again. That's the problem. You can't hardly. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if we're picking it up. I've got a new. I'll make some noise here. My new mic set up. But the problem is the unit looks just like this, and it plugs into my camera with a cord. So I have it clipped on. And I don't know if you can see, but yeah, it's right here. So I plug it into the cord, and then I use the back clip to clip it on and hold it in place. But yeah, regularly $100. I got it for $20. We'll see if it's a better quality than those other lavaliers that are the little microphones that are all of them are $20, $25, and $15, and they're all crap. But this one's got volume control and all kinds of stuff on it, so I apologize for it. I'm sure it made some noise there. But all right, well, we've got our material split. Let's get some water in the pan before the rain comes back and get this done. And we'll see what we got. All right, well, I guess we'll start with our big stuff here. Like I said, this is always some of the most beautiful gold in this. He's had this out for a few years now. And I think he's always had it in stock. I don't think this is one of his that's ever run out. I was pushing that California stuff last week at the end of the video, and it had been sold out for days. I think it sold out the day he put it out. There was only like 80 bags of it or something, somebody told me. So yeah, that's the way people buy his stuff. That'd barely accommodate 4 or 5 people if he doesn't have a limit on it. I think if you've got only 80 bags, it should be a 1 bag. Probably a 1 bag per customer limit, because he has so many people that want to get his stuff. See, it's real easy to to unveil this stuff. It pops right into view. Look at that. Some all very flat. So bada bing, bada boom, and you're done. And like that, we're into our small stuff here, and you can know there's going to be a bunch of that. We already saw those little specks that were showing up. I have to do a shout out thank you to John R. Prospect. He gave me a call the other night while he was down at it was actually this year's, what was Freedom Fest before, but it's something else. It's called something else now, with Rose Nose and I think Monkey Wrench. But it was a big gathering, a bunch of people. They did a big giveaway, but he called, and I got to talk to Carson, and Brad, Rocky Mountain Prospect, was out there, and Ron Anders. Y'all seen Ron, was down here having dinner with me, and very cool. Got to talk to a bunch of people out there, and I was on the phone with John for a couple hours, I guess, while he was doing his stuff. They were getting ready to. Chef V was down there. They were doing they'd done a tomahawk steak challenge. Very cool stuff. So it was sounded like a really great time. And then John, he was going to that was over the weekend up in Ohio, and then he was heading I believe it was to Indiana. They're doing a bear. Their bears having a channel thing or something. Another meeting that they were going to go to. He and I think it was he and Brad. Rocky Mountain. We're going to try to find some spots to work during the week while they were there before they went up to the meet. But the weather was going to be tough. That's what they had been dealing with rain during last weekend's gathering, and I can't remember what it's called. It's called Rosa Monkey something. But anyway, they had a lot of rain, so they were kind of having to work around that, but they was still having a great time. Speaking of great time, I was sitting there zoomed in all that time. Sorry about that. I'm not standing behind my damn camera, so I missed it. But yeah, look, that's what we've got. And a bunch of useless fucking footage. That's just great. That's the next thing I gotta get the gold station in the back patio area here done. I'm always standing on messed up tiles and got the camera situated so it's not where it really needs to be, but I can't stand in the right place where I can look over it, as I have been always doing, until I set up here for this quote-unquote temporary moving out of the corner there. I'll just go ahead and knock this out. It's easy stuff to get done. So we have the White Horse bag left, which that's some beautiful gold too. I was debated on which one I wanted to do today. But I thought a little leaf gold would be cool. So yeah, y'all that were watching the last week's will be happy to know that apparently the dog, I believe, is at a family member's place instead of being left abandoned all the time here. So I haven't seen or heard in a week, and he's been gone most of the time, and he would be crying all the time but nobody was there. So thankfully for that, like I said, the noise didn't bother me at all. It was that poor animal was in such distress for so long, it's just. And now from the incident, y'all was talking, actually my neighbor next, they heard all of it, and but yeah, the little pussy put up my blockade there. Where's my Zoom? Come on, stupid phone. There's my fence propped in front of it. That's a camera, a ADT monitored camera that watches my backyard and has a zoom in on her with her hot tub and jumping on the trampoline in her bikini with her kids. And I warned her. I said, "Hey, just so you know, you're on camera all the time." And that's bullshit. I told my landlord, I'm not gonna be fucking filming in my backyard. I said, either I'm doing my video this week. If that's up, I'm blocking it. And but then keep in mind, on the other side of the house, we've had a street light that's been out for, I don't know, a couple of months. So it's pitch black over there. And that's the side that has the old bathroom window that easily you could just push the thing open and climb in through it. So the side that anybody could actually break in is totally, there's no camera on that, but there's one in my backyard watching me. And it pointed into, you can see me on the patio here and her in that, So yeah. So yeah, before I said it, I went over there and set it up. Yeah, little bitch, say something about it. My landlord's like, "Oh yeah, I'll tell him." He can't. Well, we'd already talked about that before, and it's still up. So, but I think he'll do something about it. But yeah, it's like fuck. Can you imagine being that intimidated that the next day, he was, day after that, I didn't even catch it till then. I wasn't here when they were putting it in, but then I saw it and like, what the fuck? And it's not just him. Whatever perv is down there monitoring it. I can guarantee you they're going to be focusing on the chick across in front of the camera in her bikini more than they are worrying about the rest of the monitoring the other cameras. Fucking. Very nice. And we've got our jet dry in the water here because that stuff would lift up and float very easily. A little black sand holding around it there. So, all right, well, that's I can dry my hands off here. That's a very nice little showing. I'm liking it. All right, I'll get this stuff cleaned up and take another look, and then we'll look at the snuffer. All righty then. Nice little pan of gold there for a 1 gram bag. Like I said, it tends to look like a lot of gold when you get this leaf gold. Like I said, that looks like a lot more than you'd have in a 1 gram bag when you've got gold that's that big. Hence, the deception lies in the thickness. So, yeah, very cool. And like that, we're good to go. I guess we could do a quick look at Here's my little girl there. Hey, Shrody. Usually she's been staying in the wheelbarrow, but my reaper is still putting out blooms, and I keep pollinating them, but you can see no fruits are taking. Whereas on my cayennes over here, like I said before, I thought they would have been turning red a week ago. They are still growing and still very green. And of course, the habaneros these won't be ready until probably 4th of July before they ripen up. But they have got some nice big peppers and a bunch more of them coming out all on them. So I'm just hoping we got some heat this year. Our habaneros usually are hot, but the cayennes I've grown the last few years have just been literally no heat at all. You'd have a cayenne taste, that cayenne flavor would come through, but no heat. So we'll see. But and then my little y'all update on the little chomper there. As you can see, the blooms are going flourishing. And they've got a lot of little open mouths there. They're ready for some flies. So, hey, baby girl. Hey, my little sweetie. So, yeah, I'll be throwing in a couple. They don't need but 1 or 2 to sustain the plant for a long time. But like I said, you can see how high those blooms are up from where the jaws are, because you don't want to eat your pollinators. So, yeah, all is green and good in the bayou. We have our pan of dried gold. And actually, I'm kind of surprised as I was looking at it that normally it is larger gold of this gold inlays type stuff that's even in the 1 gram bags. These are a lot of really small pieces. That's I would get this stuff before when I was making the display vials up more. Because it was larger pieces would fit in the vial and hold against the glass from the garnets and stuff that I'd use to fill it. That's nothing, a little bit of dust. But yeah, it's beautiful gold. This is the stuff he actually uses for like inlays and rings. He has a ring that because it is thin and flat. So let's see what we got. But again, there you go. You never know. Your material is always going to change. So 1.09, a very nice a very nice weight on that. Like I said, it looks like a lot of gold when you have it in the pan or when you're looking at it, just because it is so thin and takes so much volume for the weight. And again, it's just got that. Of course, it's cleaned. He cleans his gold for this kind of stuff, but it is just such brilliant gold. There's our piece we found. One of our pieces we found when we first started. And yeah, it's got some cool shapes. So very nice. Still have a little bit of sand that was in there that was holding at the end even. But all right, well, let's run some numbers since we had just done our last one. But at any rate, the numbers should add up to be about the same because it was the same day. It was $3,334 an ounce whenever I got it. And I think this was a few bucks more a bag. But yeah, it's just piece there. All right, I'll be right back. So yeah, as I thought, it was very good. With our 1.09 grams, we have a gold value of $117.32, which gives us a 107% ROI. If you remember, our first bag was 108% ROI, but this stuff was $109.95 a bag, as opposed to $106.95 a bag for the Glacier bag with the Nugget. So, yeah, beautiful gold. Again, smaller than I was expecting, though. But like I said, just when you're dealing with natural material, you never know what you're going to get. So, there we have it. Put that aside, and we'll take a look at my previous. These are my two leaf gold nuggets from the 3-gram bag. I believe this is the one I think I got the 6 grams combined into one, and these were the two nuggets that came in that. And again, it's just micro thin. Well, you can just see how ridiculously thin that big piece of gold is. It's got the little hook on it there. That's very cool. And you can see where it looks like it's just been compressed, or was formed in a crevice where it was able to harden up. I don't know. It's very cool. And then this one's not. It's a little thicker, but for its size, again, you can see there's that hook pattern on it there, which again, that suggests something with the morphology, I would think, of it forming in these liquid layers that seem to be built up on each other, compressed in, maybe like say where it was pushing into a flat crevice. I believe that probably would be more the case than being compressed from billions of years of overburden and rock. But yeah, very cool, very cool. The large leaf gold. Like I said, I highly recommend it. And then that's my regular. That's just a regular nugget from the 3-gram. I always would get the 3-gram gold and garnets, and now he's out of garnets, so we don't have that anymore. He does still have the 3-gram chunky bag where you get the guaranteed, 1-gram nugget, and as you can see, all these are well over a gram and a half even. And then there's mine that I always would call the chicken leg quarter, because that's what it looked like, a drumstick and a thigh on a piece of gold. That was in one of the gold and garnet bags. You can see it's like it's got a twist on it there that forms the drumstick. But yeah, from that other side, I always thought it very much looked like a chicken leg quarter. So, and there's one of our pieces. It was from the. That was one from one of our. Where are we? There we are. You can see it's a little bit shiny. This is one that's from the Mendenhall Glacier bag. That was one of our half grams. That I believe is actually 0.70, and that's a beautiful little piece of gold. A lot of detail in it. And then there's our one from last week. If I can get it into place, there's our piece from last week. And if you notice it, like I said, with that shine, it looks very much like the last big nugget that I got from the high grader, but you can see that high grader gold just has a different quality to it when it's sitting beside even a very nice gold nugget. That buttery, that's what they refer to it as, that buttery quality of that high grader. It stands out. And then there's that piece that had that green. I've never heard what that green is on that one nugget, but it looks like it's actually a jade or something. I thought it went. Yeah, you can see right there where it's peeking through right there. The green. There's the green on that side. And it's got a nice little hole in it. And then once you flip it, there's the green on the other side. So, but again, just a very cool little nugget of gold there. I was always saying that would be a perfect one for a zodiac, because it could either be the Cancer, the crab, or Taurus, the bull. Where it has the little pinchers, again, a hole right at the top where you could put a ring through it. But yeah, if you flip it over, then now you've got the bull's head. So very cool stuff. And like I said, all from Gold Nugget sales from over the 4 years, going on 5 now, of some awesome. And we'll just go ahead. Normally I keep this stuff separate, but in this case, since it's really not, I'll combine it all. If it was the larger stuff, I'd keep it out because I would keep it separate. That stuff I'll hang on to or use in PAYDIRTs or something too. But so, and while we're looking at those, I think it deserves a look at one of my favorite little collections here from the awesome viewers. And right there you can see, if you remember, that just came in. What's that stupid? There's always a piece of fuzz or hair somewhere and everything. My gold coin from Mr. Minix. That is my first gold coin ever. And the Mexican wedding coin. I think this is from 1835, it said on it. Or 1865, yeah, 1865. Still very old, very cool, and very generous of him to just send me that. And like I said, it's very, very awesome. And then I've got one of my first nuggets that I ever got. It's not from a PAYDIRT, but it came in from, I'll just keep it on our black where I can see it, where it shows up better here maybe. from Jammin' Jeff, my crown. It looked like, I always thought it looked like a crown, but it's got those veins and holes that run all the way through it in several different places there, and is just an awesome, an awesome piece of gold. And the man has got, y'all heard me talk about it before, he has some incredible pieces in his collection, so it was awesome that he would share that with me. And but yeah, I always called that the crown. And then the other one is this beautiful piece that I received in from CARSON. These came in when I first started the channel. This nice double-lobed piece of gold, and this is one of y'all have seen before. I did the "What Do You See" video on it, because to me that always looked like a dinosaur head, like a mosasaur. You know, one of the or it could be at the right angle. It could be a tyrannosaur. One of the big ones though. But yeah, but it has the double lobe. And I think I got this in the same PAYDIRT where I received my Lego Trump, and who is our channel icon there. That's that gold bar right next to it is a Jammin' Jeff, my Jammin' Jeff 999 pure silver Bayou Gold guy that he did for me. That has gotten its patina. And then we're also representing for Memorial Day. We have our Navy coin that I received from the awesome A3 Sky Warrior. Thank you, Rich. That one's always out here, as well as our Space Force. So yeah, it's we honor our fallen service people as well as remember our ones that are serving, and wish them a long and successful life and career, and for protecting our country. And I also got our, let's zoom back out of here. I've got our strawberries out here. These are my Aldi strawberries I did from the video. And Miss Trudy Taylor, she commented on saying that she might go to Aldi. They have an Aldi's in the UK where she lives. It's a freeze dried with the dark chocolate. Best chocolate you can eat. Healthiest thing for you is to eat dark chocolate. All you chocolate lovers, if you've been eating dark chocolate all your life like me, you've been doing the right thing. It's good for your teeth, it's good for your bloodstream, it's good for everything. So those are delicious though. $4 a pack. And they're, of course, strawberries are ground zero for fruits that you really don't want to eat, because they have the highest concentrations of herbicides and pesticides. I used to eat tons of them, and I've slacked off majorly over the years. And when I do buy them, I'll buy them a few times, in the summer, and I get the Californias, Dole usually, because they're the best and the sweetest. But I thoroughly wash them. As what are you doing down there? That's about what I've always got somebody. You can see I've been painting. I've always got somebody wrapped around. That's my little girl. There's my big boy trying to get his fur grown back. Mischief, what are you doing? Yeah. So all right. Well, that's like I said, that's just a little walkthrough on something. Speaking of Mr. Minix, I also have that. Along with the that beautiful just open it up. I need to put these in a new one, because this one's over the years has gotten that film. Not only do I have my beautiful so much for damn autofocus on this thing. This awesome piece that I received from Jordan, Gold Thumb Prospecting, is a beautiful piece of Australian gold. And then beside that, I'm not sure what This one I believe he got from Nuggets by Grant. Specifically, you can see again it is just an incredible piece of gold that he'd sent. And then this is a piece that I received in from Mr. Minix. Again, I think this might be one that I won because I've won a couple of things and some pay dirt from him. Usually on my own channel when he would be doing giveaways at the end of the live chat. But I did win something from a giveaway from him before too, seriously. But I think I have won something before on my channel, and I told him then, I said, well, no, don't, if I'm still talking, because it'll be the last person standing is what we call it, last one chatting, and he'll, when the flashlight or the candle's up, that means that he's watching. And when the feed cuts off about 3-4 minutes after the video ends, then whoever has the last comment, Mr. Minix will give him a prize. And then of course we got our beautiful, my giant Vendetta Nugget, which I call woman sitting with blanket. Or woman kneeling with blanket, woman praying. But you can see again, it's got a nice, that little piece at the top that's held on with just two little tiny, with just those little tiny connections right at the top of it there that hold that piece in. So I've cleaned this one with just by soaking it. I never would tumble it or rough it up. You can see actually there's quartz. There's actually quartz in that. This is almost a little short of a 5-gram nugget, but that's quartz that's in there that is part of reinforcing what I guess where that little connection is. But a beautiful nugget, and yeah, from Vendetta. The second most videos that I have on the channel are from Mike Vendetta, along with Mike at Gold Nugget Sales. And then one of my favorite pieces that I've held on to is my little pillow gold, where it's got this side where it's got a little indention in it, and it's very smooth, and then you flip it over, and it's got the bulge on the other side. A nice pillow, I always call it a pillow. It looks like a rounded pillow, but very cool piece. And I got this is the piece that I got on an auction, and I'm so sorry, I cannot remember the name. It was the channel that does does a number of auctions and stuff, not Ruthless, but kind of like that, where it's all mostly gems and minerals, and not necessarily a gold panning channel. We're getting in. They were kind of getting into. They had gotten into gold, but and had some really nice gold. But he wasn't per se a gold channel. But I cannot remember. I'm so sorry. So yeah, beautiful stuff. Gold Nugget Sales, awesome as always. And like I said, a lot of years of gold from Mike over there, and it's it's always a good time. So thank you all so much, and we'll wrap this one up. That's her big brother. Different mother. Different father, same mother. Right, Mischief? She looks like her daddy out there, who's just keeps getting tore up. Meanwhile, my boy's still getting his coat back. I don't think the vet knows what they're fucking talking about. There we go. Come on, bro. Just a little play. Pay attention to me. Pay a little attention to me. They'll come tearing through when they get going, and they'll be, see, I use a flea comb on him. He's treated. I can't find a flea, and then he'll break out and have these little whelps on him. And I'm telling him one flea, there's not one flea can cause him to break out like that. They look like individual bites. I still don't find the flea. But all right, you're not gonna play anymore? Are you ignoring the little girl? Are you ignoring my little girl there? My little sweetheart? Yeah, she's a sweetie. She's a little tuxedo. My little gray tuxedo cat. Like her daddy. There, she got him riled up. Yeah, Gizmo's come in. Gizmo's in the room. He wants to join. And then my little girl Guinevere. She looks like my very first kitty I ever had from 1981. But she's a lot sweeter. She's a sweetheart. My other one was a demon. All right. You done playing? What, you want your airtime now? Huh? You want some airtime? And with that, I believe we will wrap up this bag of Gold Nugget Sales Leaf Gold Pay Dirt. Don't say gold leaf. It's thin, but it's not that thin. What? Come here. You want? He's like, I told you I wanted my screen time. I wanted my screen time. My sweet boy. So yes, it was an awesome bag of gold to have to add to the collection. And like I said, there's a long list of different varieties you can pick from on the website. So check it out, get you some, and yes, have an awesome. Oh, somebody's got lights turning in. I can see it reflected. Have an awesome Memorial Day and a great Memorial Day weekend. Like I said, we honor them by, enjoying the things that they provided us, made it possible for us to fight for. So with that, I will just say that we do have a ridiculous. Now I gotta read my landlord's out front, walking around because they're interrupting the camera. Hold on. All right, where were we now? I end up spending some time out there with my landlord, but we're having a termite swarm. Last night, tonight, they were just everywhere. The big termites with the wings that fly in. They're attracted to light, so I got to get the lights out. They were coming in through the bottom of my door last night. I see the cats. They're focused. I'm like, what are y'all doing? And because they're brown, they blend with the floor. And about that time, one flies and lands on my face or on my neck. It's like, jeez. So very unpleasant between mosquitoes. At least they don't bite, but yeah, the termites are swarming now down here. So, yeehaw. But there are a lot bigger problems we've got to deal with than our little termites, so we're good with that. I tell you what, we've gotten the news this week of Biden's got the cancer, and as if we didn't know that there was something definitely wrong with him from the last 4 years before that, and the bone cancer now, the metastasizing to the bone. I know the people that I've known that had bone cancer diagnosed. My girlfriend's mom was diagnosed in November, and her funeral was January 1st. My buddy that was down here from about 7 years ago, he was diagnosed with it. They found a quarter-size hole in his bone, and he was in 6 weeks he was dead. So Biden, if it's true, if what they're saying is true, and it's metastasized to the bone, at his age, I'd give him no more than 4 months max. But we'll see. But he'll get no tears from me for the horrific damage that he and his advisors now that that's come out with the cancer, now the autopin stuff is really going to hit the fan, and they've identified the 3 advisors, his insiders, his lawyer, and Jill, of course. And from the very first picture I saw, they've never shown again. When they were first breaking this autopin news, they showed Biden's signature, they showed Jill's signature, and then they showed an autopin signature, and the B from Jill Biden and the B on the Joe Biden auto signature was the same B. It was not the same B that Biden makes for his name. So it looked to me from the first picture they ever showed that I never saw again that she was the one that actually had signed the auto pin signature that they were using. So Whether it's the fact that she got used to signing his name so much that they didn't think he would get caught or didn't even think about it, I don't know. But this is the level of fraud, corruption, deceit, and then you've got the absurdity of these news personalities. You know, fake Jake Trapper, the scumbag that would attack anyone that even mentioned how decrepit Biden was. Now has his book saying how, you know, we're hidden from, you know. Again, it's just the absurdity. Hopefully no one will buy any of this trash, because the same people that lied to you about COVID, that lied to you about the Russia hoax, that lied to you about Biden being fit, that, you know, they've lied to you about everything that's come out that has anything to do with news that matters to the American people, be it politics, be it, you know, you know, they're finding out now. You haven't heard any more about the woman that crashed into the woman pilot that crashed into the plane in D.C., ignoring orders to evade. You know, almost like she did it intentionally. After a picture of her being in the office with Biden, one of his lackeys. You know, you don't think that Trump derangement syndrome would not infect someone bad enough that they're gonna, well, you know, fuck this, I'm gonna do, you know. But it was the time, it was the day after whatever the inauguration. You know, this is the way. That's the level of insanity and delusion of the people we're dealing with here. That, you know, that you cannot counter. But that's a real possibility. But you're not going to hear any investigation or any chance of that being exposed, like everything else. You know, Biden's been dying for 4 years, and we'd see the wounds on his hand. To me, that looks like, you know, I've been around enough elderly in nursing homes and stuff, and hospitals, that I know an IV bruise when I see one, especially in old people in their hand. You know, and so yeah, was he receiving chemotherapy all this time, and that's what was debilitating him. When even pumping him up on the drugs couldn't counter it at some points, like at the debate. They thought they'd pump him up and get him through, and just imagine they were going to want to run him for 4 more years, knowing that he was, because they knew that he was a puppet, a shell, and they had control. And now they're saying that this auto pen was being used for profit. They were actually selling these pardons, all those last minute pardons that went out to so many people. There's going to be, you know, let's look at bank accounts, let's look at transactions, let's look at the people that got the pardons and look at their bank accounts versus the 3 that were in charge of the auto pen and Jill. And even Hunter Biden had access to it. You know, this is the guy, just to be clear, his son is the one who, you know, when his brother died, he had an affair with his brother, with his sister-in-law, his brother's widow, got her addicted to crack, and then cheated on her and got another a stripper pregnant. This is the level of character and of course the daughter, whose diary, you know, they, you know, cried about that. No, it was 100% true, and her you know, diary memories of, you know, inappropriate showers with her dad, the president, when she was a little girl. You know, so yeah, this pedo, you know, sniffing, you know, just piece of shit. He deserves everything that he's going to get from this. I hope he lives. I hope he lives a very long time with it. Has a lot of time to deal with it, because just the number of dead in this country that he's left behind from this criminal coup that has taken us over and has tried to destroy our country. It cannot be understated how serious this all is, and the ramifications that it should carry. You know, when you got Cash Patel and Bongino coming out saying Epstein killed himself, you know, it was in the evidence. Well, what evidence did you see? There were no pictures. They destroyed the crime scene before even basic photos could be taken. Is it the evidence of two cameras that weren't working at the same time? Is it the evidence that he was put in a cell when he was the most high-profile prisoner they've ever had, that he should have been in an isolated cell with a camera, 24-hour surveillance, not in a cell with any cellmate? Is it the coincidence of the 2 guards that fell asleep supposedly for 3 hours and were not available to even look in on him? Which of those bits of evidence is it that you looked at that you determined that he was 100% did himself off? That's bullshit. And I did not expect that from Bongino or Patel. And And Pam Bondi better get her ass going too, because she has. They've all been talking, but they're not producing what America wants to see. And now this bullshit with Epstein, I don't know if they found something that's too bad to divulge or what. But it does, again. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm just saying. And I'm, like I said, we're not mindless followers like the left. When we see shit going on with our people, we call them out on it, and I'm calling out this, and there's something that's not right for them to come out and arbitrarily, and they came out together. They had to address it together because one of them would not have been considered legitimate. I don't think. They're trying to go like make a stand together. I don't know. Something's wrong. Something's not right. So, but we do have Judge Janine Pirro coming in, and she's going after Cuomo for, again, killing off all the old people, sticking them into nursing homes when he knew they were infected, spreading infection, not giving a shit, no accountability for any of this. It's again, it just goes on and on and on. The every level of DEI, of incompetence, of criminality, and of just outright malice and treason in everything we see from the left is what and the media. So again, if you're not watching, you're getting your news from the news sources on YouTube, independent news channels. Even Fox is getting so diluted. There's only a few things on Fox that I'll watch because they'll stick in those little jabs here and there on but no, there's the mainstream news. Right now from Trump, the ultimate troll, having that South African piece of shit down here showing the literally 100,000 people in the stadium with that point. They're going boom, boom, you're chanting to murder white people. They're murdering white farmers in a genocide in South Africa, which of course once apartheid was done, you got those horrible white people out, of course it just turned to total shit. The whole country is nothing but a giant shit pile of corruption, and the next dictator waiting to come up and sell more blacks into slavery, which is they are still doing, the only continent left in the world. So all you reparations people, head on home and see how that works out for you. But no, this she's going after Cuomo, and as the attorney general there. So just line these fuckers up. They're arresting judges. They're arresting. We've got that last again another fat black BLM libtard woman, loudmouth, pushing her fat ass into a crowd, making her fist and punching the damn ICE guys, and she's saying how it was not seen right. She was not body slamming that officer. She stole her fat gut into him as they're handcuffing the mayor and dragging him off and let him off on because it was misdemeanor. No, she said you were gonna pursue criminal charges against everyone to the fullest extent of the law, no exceptions. That's what Pam Bondi said. And the first thing they do is they arrest these people, and then they go, "Oh, it's a misdemeanor." No, I don't care if it's a jaywalking offense. Arrest them, run them through the system. You don't have to indict them, but drag their ass down and make them go through it. Don't dismiss shit. So, on this Memorial Day, like I said, we honor those that gave their lives so this country could survive and become the greatest nation. See, there's one of those big fuckers that become the greatest nation that ever existed in the history of the world, and they cannot stand that, and they want to do everything to make sure that does not continue. And for that, we damn them to hell, and their followers, and we'll see that they get there. So, till then, this is Bayou Gold Guy saying thank you all so much for watching the channel, supporting. If you've not hit that subscribe button, I'd appreciate it if you do that right now, especially if you made it this far into the video. Thumbs up would be good. Show YouTube, the cats love those things. Show YouTube that you guys are on board with that. And have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Like I said, for the things that they fought for is what we honor, and the America. Just remember, there's no such thing as the UK dream. There's no such thing as the great German dream. Well, there he was. We're not going to talk about that. But there's no such thing as the Australian dream. There is only the American dream. That is what has been coined. There's a reason for that, because there is no other place in the world that you have the freedom to achieve those dreams than in America. And the sooner these dumbasses start remembering that and promoting that rather than the bullshit that they push and the media dogs that feed that, we're gonna have a problem till then. So, thank y'all. Take care of each other. Until the next time, happy Memorial Day and peace out, my friends.